we didn't have one COVID interruption during that time, which we were, we were kind of due, you know what I mean, for a positive case. And, unfortunately, we were shut down for 2 weeks. And, the first couple of practices were pretty ugly, but we're getting there one day at a time. And the things we're doing now every day is we have social distancing boxes taped down in the practice gym. So if you're not actively in a drill, you go stand in one of those boxes and they're 6 feet apart. All the players have a stool, and those are spread out around the gym, and they have a little bin where they can keep their towel, their water bottle, their jersey if they take it off. Everything kind of is in one place so that there's not cross contamination. And obviously the coaches are wearing masks and face shields, and so we're taking every precaution known to man now after being shut down to try to avoid that happening again.
Indeed. And did you guys deal with any scary moments on campus, as far as a lot of students or someone in the program that may have been touched by the virus?
Yeah, so we've been fortunate. The university has done a great job kind of moving classes to this hybrid online system.
All right.
So we haven't had any major breakouts here. And the positive tests that we've had within the program have all been asymptomatic. So nobody's been sick. So we've been very fortunate. Obviously, their health is, the number one concern.
Indeed.
Doing everything we can to keep them safe.
Indeed, because without good health, there's nothing can be done.
Right, exactly.
For sure. Now, the Southern Conference. What team in the Southern Conference, for those that don't know?
Sure.
I don't want to say bothers you guys, but you circle that school on the calendar.
Sure. Yeah. The SoCon is a great conference for those who, aren't familiar with the area.
Mm-hmm.
There's a conference ranking system that we all kind of respect, which is the KenPom system. And our conference has been in the top 13 or 14 leagues in America. And, you take the Power Six, and then, you got the A10 and American right there. That's 8 right off the bat. Gonzaga 9, the West Coast Conference. And so, we're in that next 3 or 4 every year, which is really impressive. And unfortunately, we haven't had 2 teams in the tournament yet, but I think we're turning that corner. And I think this is going to be a multi-bid league here in the near future, if not this year. But in terms of rivalry, for us, the SoCon, this will be 4 years now. This year was an exception, but the 3 previous years, 1 through 4, had been the same. In a different order every year. But us at UNCG, East Tennessee State, Furman, and Wofford finished 1 through 4 3 years in a row.
Wow.
And so, last year, Mercer, under their new head coach, crept into that top 4 and bumped Wofford out. Ironically, Wofford still made a run to the championship game in the tournament. But those group of teams now, add Mercer into that conversation. Now we got a lot of respect for them. But Mercer, Furman, Wofford, East Tennessee State, they've been so good for so long. When you get to those games on the schedule, you just know it's going to be a war. No. And so our fan bases show out for those games, and it gets circled on the calendar, and it's been great.
Now, Coach, I was going to go there. About the fan base.
Oh, no doubt.
Who has the best fans in that conference?
I can't vote for my own fan base.
Outside of your fan base, okay. We know UNC Greensboro has great fan base.
No doubt.
Can't vote for your own, though, Coach.
Okay. Well, East Tennessee turnout at home games in the country, which is incredible. So when you're making the trip to Johnson City, you're going to be playing in front of 5,000 fans, and they're going to be intense. It gets loud in there. So that's part of what's made these rivalries special, is that the communities come out. We play in the Greensboro Coliseum, and the lower bowl holds 8,000 people. And, our last two home games of the year were Wofford and Furman, and we've got 6,000 at both of those games. I mean, they really come out. And so, us and East Tennessee State are always at the top of the league in terms of attendance. But Wofford and Furman are getting sellout crowds now, and the league is really trending up. It's an exciting time to be a part of the SoCon.
Wow. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people to play in front of. Now, my good buddy that's on the live right now, Jeffrey Hines, asked a question. He has a question for you.
All right.
Well, more so made a statement. Said You guys played Kansas very tough last year. I'm kind of disappointed I missed that game. So he's a film guy. I told him to send me that game.
Okay.
So could you tell us a little bit about that experience battling Kansas?
Yeah, absolutely. That was about a year ago. I think we played them on the 8th or 9th last year. So we're just a couple days back from a year ago, going to Kansas. And obviously Fog Allen Arena is one of the, sacred, college basketball experiences. So the year before that, we played at Kentucky. And so we're always going to try to go play Kansas, Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke. We're going to try to have one of them on the schedule every year because that kind of tells us where we're at. And so the game at Kansas, for one, we had to prepare for that game differently than we prepared for any other game. We were playing crowd noise on full blast during practice.
Y'all see this?
During practice. To get our guys ready. Like, you're not going to be able to hear us when we're calling a play. Like, even if you're within an earshot, it's different. And so we literally prepared in that fashion. And I don't know if our guys believed us, but I'll tell you what, when it got loud in there, they were like, y'all were right. Y'all were right. And it was a tight game at halftime. I think we were down 2 at half. And, they pulled away a little bit in the second half, but it was 10-point game, 10-point ball game, and we played them tough. And, Bill Self made some comments in the post-game interview that, he wouldn't be surprised to see us in March in the NCAA tournament. So were very, very kind words on his part. But, as we're, being in the Maryland area, a couple weeks later, we went down to Georgetown over Thanksgiving break and we're able to win that one. And so we get excited about those games, and we're gonna have a game like that here in a couple weeks at Louisville, playing them in their event. So we're always gonna have a couple games like that on the schedule to kind of see where we're at, and we think we can win those games.
And Coach, what's the date for that Louisville game? The date and time?
Yeah, that's
the time.
That's December 4th. So we're a part of their season opening event. We're going to play 5 games in 11 days down there. And they're the 5th one. And it's going to be like a bubble format, all the teams in the same hotel. Once you're in, you're in. 11 days, they'll have, court, kind of like the NBA bubble, like the ballroom is going to become a practice court. And, it's going to be interesting. It'll be a different experience, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, maybe you guys got to get creative if you haven't already for the season, and kind of make the practice environment a little bit bubble-like,
Yeah, no doubt. We're trying our best, man.
Indeed. Now, Coach, we spoke briefly earlier about one of your guys.
Yeah.
Very, very special talent. Now, the NBA draft is 7 days away.
Right.
This kid was right there, had his name in, getting ready to make that move. If you're just joining, we're talking to UNC Greensboro men's assistant coach, y'all, Chris Lepore. Now, Coach, we're talking about Isiah Miller, the guard.
No doubt.
Now, could you speak on Isiah? I like to hear guys the background pretty much. You know, how was Isiah coming through the door?
Sure.
How has he progressed to this point? You know, to being a potential NBA prospect.
Yeah, sure. It's an incredible story. I'm glad you brought it up. You know, he was just named preseason SoCon Player of the Year today. He's
Awesome. Congratulations.
yeah. He's the reigning SoCon Player of the Year, and he's the two-time reigning SoCon Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah,
That's rare. That's rare, you guys.
no,
Isiah Miller. Look him up.
no doubt, no doubt. And it's amazing because you know we were his only scholarship offer as a high school player. So we're talking this kid's name. He's, you know, the NBA gave him great feedback, and they told him, you know, he's kind of just outside the second round, and that you know he'd be smart to go back and improve his shooting, and you know they want to see him play in the NCAA tournament, and they gave him some really good, solid feedback. But for him to be a part of that conversation, 3 years after not having a Division I scholarship offer, I mean, it just goes to show you what kind of kid he is. And, you know, I should say young man now. He just had a birthday, you know, in his early 20s now. But his energy is infectious. He walks in the gym and everybody gets a little pep in their step when Zay walks in the gym. He comes in and he starts dancing and he's like, let's go, another day to get better. And it just makes you want to coach him. Like you just wish you had 5 Isiah Millers out there. and he's so unique in the way he approaches every day. He knows it's all an opportunity. He comes from really humble beginnings, and you know he's got a great supportive family. His mom drives up from Atlanta, the Atlanta area, to almost every game, whether we're in conference or out of conference. And so she's a great support system for him, and his goal, he wants to change the course of his family, and you know, and so he's just a really special kid. And you know, even when I think about his academics, for him to be pushing a 3.0 right now, he has no academic foundation coming into college. He was originally deemed a non-qualifier. And so we took him assuming that he was going to have to sit a year, but he got a 4.0 in summer school when he got here, and the NCAA thought that he could do college work and cleared him. And he's worked at it and worked at it. He's a senior now. This morning he was in study hall for 2 hours preparing for a Spanish test and got a 98% on it. And I'm so proud of that stuff too. You know, it's so much bigger than basketball, and he's just an incredible story. And we're so proud of everything he's accomplished. And it's funny, you know, I just talked to him before we got on this call, and I was like, hey man, you're all over the place on the internet right now. They got graphics of you sitting on a throne with a crown on your head, king of the SoCon. And he's like, coach, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We got to go cut down nets. That's just the type of kid he has, the type of kid he is, the type of energy he has. So very, very special.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, coach, you got to do it, man. You got to do it, coach. You got to tell me, man, because we're 7 days away from the NBA draft, coach. Who's going number 1, coach?
A lot of talk about LaMelo.
A lot of talk about LaMelo Ball for sure.
A lot of talk about LaMelo. So I don't know. Apparently, there's people trying to trade back because they're scared of that number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It doesn't look like anybody's like dying to have the number 1 pick this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go LaMelo.
LaMelo. There it is. There
Who
it is, Coach. I'm sorry, Coach. What'd you say?
Who do you got going number 1?
I hope that it's I'm gonna just say I hope it's not LaMelo.
I love it.
Unless, and I've been saying this here on Finalize every day, unless Minnesota trades the pick. I don't want to see LaMelo in Minnesota.
Okay. I hear you there. You want to see him in LA, New York. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to see him with the Warriors.
Okay.
I think he fits right into that style of play. Really, I believe James Wiseman might be a good fit for the Wolves, but I think the Wolves, more importantly, they continue to stack up young kids that's full of talent, and I think that causes a problem, and
Sure.
probably contributes to why the Timberwolves haven't quite turned that corner.
Right.
So I would like to see them get a respected vet in there and trade the pick off.
I think they're going to try to do that. So we'll see.
Indeed, Coach. Well, Coach, man, we want to thank you here at Finalize for joining. Um, some great insight. A lot of guys was excited that you got on here. They're interested in the program. And I truly, truly wish you guys the best of luck on opening night. And that's against Little Rock.
That's right.
Correct?
That's right. Yep. Well, I appreciate you having me on. If anybody listening, wants to follow up or get in touch, feel free to shoot me an email, chris.lepore@uncg.edu. I'll be happy to follow up anytime. And if you want to follow our basketball pages, it's just at UNCG Basketball on Instagram, Twitter. But again, I really appreciate you having me on. This was great. This was a lot of fun. And for those of you listening, that if we're a program you don't know a lot about, we've won 104 games the last 4 seasons, and we've been to 5 straight postseasons. So the trajectory of this program is going up right now. And with Coach Miller at the helm, I've been with him for 7 years. He's as intense as they come. And so it's a fun program to be around every day. And I hope when you watch on TV that you guys get that impression. So thanks again for having me on. This was great.
Oh, absolutely, Coach. Absolutely. Once again, thanks for stopping by. This is Coach Chris Lepore, y'all. And listen, we want to follow the UNC Greensboro Spartans, man. Listen, you've been sleeping on the Spartans, you are making a mistake. You heard it here on Finalize, y'all. I am your host, Darnell Oaks. Yeah! Go Spartans.
Come on, baby.
Man, Chris Lepore, man, thanks again for stopping by. Man, follow them this season, y'all. See y'all in a little bit.